You are listening to the FTWpodcast.com, where we talk about wrestling in all of its laughable glory. Here's a clip from this week's episode.
Mick Foley has left TNA due to creative differences. Those in TNA say that Foley was difficult to work with, and Foley says he had goals for TNA that they had problems with, but he understands where they were coming from. Everyone who commentates on wrestling on the internet and in the world sees him returning to WWE. The John Report is even saying he could and should, I disagree, be the Raw GM. Triple H is the Raw GM. Question, do you want to see Mick back in WWE, and does the Raw GM thing make sense? Given light of this, Rob, what do you think with him leaving Impact, like you spoke about earlier, about him possibly coming back?
Well, obviously that kills the notion of him possibly coming back to TNA.
Not necessarily. It could be an angle. It wouldn't be the first time.
Right.
Although...
That's true, but given the way this story sounds, this sounds kind of legitimate that he's going to be gone, at least for a little while.
Okay.
But his first run with TNA kind of ended the same way, too, so he might be back at some point down in the future. Should he go back to the WWE? Yeah, I guess that depends on Vince and whether Mick Foley has, and how much Foley has pissed Vince off. I'd like to see him as Raw GM, but at the same point in time...
Yeah, but Rob, I mean, looking back, even when Foley was in TNA, and he wrote that book, WWE promoted it. I don't think he's on bad terms with WWE.
Oh, he totally isn't.
You know, I think...
That's true.
Do I want to see him back in WWE?
Not really.
Not really. No, you're right, Scott. I mean, I really don't. But if he's going to be, the Raw GM thing makes sense. Like
what?
No,
it
I
doesn't,
strongly
Joe.
disagree. That would mean that basically he was the anonymous ruler of both TNA Impact and
but
Raw
TNA
GM
doesn't
at the
exist.
same time.
TNA doesn't exist to the WWE universe.
You can't use that argument, though.
No.
I mean, that would basically
Come on,
mean
WWE
he's playing
is
both
going to
sides.
that argument in about 2 months.
No, Joe. No, because it does
I'm
not
serious.
make any sense.
And Foley doesn't do well as a GM. We saw that in his first run as executive shareholder. And
that did
Or the commissioner back in the day.
Yeah,
right.
Thank you, Scott.
And I'm a big Foley fan, but I swear to God, if I see Mick Foley come on like, well, you know, this is a good match, but I'm gonna tweak it just a bit.
You're gonna get.
I swear to God, I will.
It's going to be worse than the Tweak and Freak connection, man. Or the.
All right.
I mean, it's. I see WWE doing it because look at the recent history. We're bringing back The Rock. We're bringing back Stone Cold. We're bringing back Bret Hart yet again.
Well, no, I'm not disagreeing the fact that they can bring Mick Foley back into storylines in WWE, but if you make him the Raw GM, like I said, I mean, yeah, maybe in the fans' perspective, TNA doesn't exist if you're like a diehard WWE fan, but to like a lot of the upper management of WWE, I mean, obviously TNA is on the map, or else they wouldn't have brought Bret Hart on the same night that Impact went live with Hulk Hogan.
Right. No, but what I guess what I'm saying is that what other role would Mick do? Not counting wrestling.
Commentary.
No, that's one of the main reasons he left. Was because he didn't like Vince in his ear yelling at him. And if they were really going to make a comment, he was going to do commentary anywhere. TNA really should have had him on.
And,
well, that's why you put him on NXT. Nobody watches NXT, so it would be perfect for.
So then why have him back at all?
Yeah.
Or you could use him, you could use him as a couple of guest hosts and start a storyline from there, kind of like what they did with Abyss, in TNA, where they have him initially in a non-wrestler role, and then Foley gets all bent out of shape about Abyss stealing his gimmick. You could have something like that. You could put Foley on Tough Enough and have him help. I mean, there are a number of things other than the GM.
Yeah,
that would be really good for the WWE to use Foley for.
Yeah, but the catch there is that, I mean, I don't think he's going to be a trainer for Tough. No. He's just too far out of it, and it's.
He's not going to be in the ring.
No, he's not.
In any capacity, he's not stepping in that ring.
No, he's not. So
Booker T didn't really have to step much into the ring, and he was a trainer on Tough Enough.
Yeah, but look what he did. Look what he did on Raw.
True. Yeah, but he did it on Raw, not Tough Enough.
Right, but regardless, Booker T shouldn't be back in the ring in the first place, sucker.
Okay, well, I mean, just 2 points to bring up. One, if he doesn't bring him back the Raw GM, do you see him in the Cena Rock storyline? And the other one is, he could just sign a Legends contract just so he can get into the Hall of Fame.
That's true, too.
I mean, I could totally see WWE picking him up because, like, right now, I mean, he's doing a lot of outside work when it comes to wrestling. I mean, he was all over The Daily Show. He has outside exposure that the WWE could use. That's what they're reaching out to right now. So I can totally see WWE picking up Mick Foley, promoting his efforts, bringing him in, and basically trying to help him out while in turn he's helping the WWE out, getting noticed.
Yeah, isn't he like the lead advocate for some...
It's a charity. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Some like rape charity or something like that.
I think Rain is the name of it.
Yeah, it's Rain.
Yeah.
And Scott, that's an excellent point, which is something that TNA would be doing, but they didn't.
They dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, I mean, for example, remember when Foley wrote that book? You saw it all over WWE. I don't think I saw it promoted once on Impact.
They didn't even mention it.
Yeah.
They didn't even say Foley could read.
Yeah. They never promoted when he was on The Daily Show, when he went off on, when he went on to the Jon Stewart's Million Man March. Never mentioned that on there. I mean, it was just one of those things where it was like, I cannot believe how badly they're dropping the ball on this. And WWE was more than willing to step up and promote a talent on a rival organization. I mean, that's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Well, you've heard our thoughts, but now we want to hear from you. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and even join us live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. at theftwpodcast.com.